Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am the priority. So this is your girl Jodessy. For those who do not know who I am, just click the subscribe button, the subscribe button. You gonna figure out who I is. You understand? So this is my story about my bully who turned to a Jehovah's Witness. Interesting. So in middle school, I went to Andrews-Huddy Middle School, and you know what, I actually have a subscriber from Andrews-Huddy Middle School, and I was on live one day and she was like, hey, you're a teacher? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, I go to Andrews-Huddy Middle School. And I was like, what? I went to Andrews-Huddy Middle School. She was like, oh my god, I love your channel. And I was like, you probably the only one watching this, but I appreciate it. Okay, so it was about, okay, here's how this worked. I actually went to a Catholic school for up until 6th grade, and January 10th, and yes, I remember because it was a traumatic moment, I went from being in Catholic school to basically transitioning into public school because my school was shutting down and my mom didn't like how the school was going. Like, I don't know, it seemed regular to me, but she was like, the school's going down the wrong path. And I said, you know what, mommy, I don't want to wear a uniform, so I agree with you. She was right though, because it closed down like after that year. In June, the whole school shut down. So I was like, oh, wow. Mommy knows what she's talking about. So I went to middle school at Andrews-Huddy Junior High School. And I went there. So I went there, and then I basically, this was early 2000s. And I was in the, how it worked is that you had the mainstream, then you had the Nova or something like that, and then you had like the elite supernova, whatever the hell. So I was in Nova, so like second tier, which was basically the O classes. So it was like 601, 602, 603. The elite classes were like 691, 692, 693. They're like this. Now that I think about it, working in a school, they had so many classes. So they're a lot bigger than my school. But so I came into school, and I was very sheltered because I came from a Catholic school, and I did not have any friends, and I've always had a problem with making friends. Like, even now I have the problem making friends because I won't say when I'm not comfortable with something, or like when something makes me feel odd or whatever, I'll just end up doing it. And then like, I also have a thing where I don't think anything's really a big deal. I'm very nonchalant, and I have a very nonchalant attitude, and it gets me in trouble all the time. But literally, I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, I'm a problem solver. So like, when a problem comes up or whatever, I'm just like, oh, well. And I also make plans in my head, and I don't really inform people. And that's just like always been my problem. So there was this girl, I'm going to call her Jade. So basically, Jade was like, she was never really that mean to me, but like the one that was really mean to me was a boy named boy Jay and girl Jade. So Jay was really mean to me, the boy. He was so mean to me. He would say things like, oh yeah, I saw that you were, like, he was like, oh, I saw that this, or like, if I touch something, he'd be like, ew, I don't want to touch that. Oh, you're this, you're that, and whatever. And like, the kids would say like mean things to me just randomly. Like, I think the meanest thing that somebody ever said to me was like, we had a kid that was a year younger than us in the class because he got skipped, and right now he's a pilot. So like, yes, baby, he's a pilot, he is chilling, but he had gotten skipped, so he was a year younger than us. So like, I'm 11 and he's like 10. And they were saying that he liked me, and I was just like, okay. But like, I wasn't really interested. Number one, I have Haitian parents. I wasn't interested in none of that guala guala shit. Like, I don't care. So this boy, everybody that was mean to me, the name started with a J. This other boy, he dark-skinned J, because one was white J, dark-skinned J, basically was like, oh, well, Des, you should be with him. You might as well just date him, because nobody else is gonna like you anyway. Like, nobody else is ever gonna want you anyway, so you might as well, if he likes you. But and he said this in front of the boy, in front of me, in front of other kids that were around. And I just looked down, and I was just like, And then this girl, I'm gonna say her name because Chelsea was lit. Like Chelsea, number one, Chelsea was really smart. I swear, sis had like a 98 average. Like, she was smart, she was sweet, she was popular. And she looked at him, she was like, why would you say that? That's not nice. And I was just like, well, thank you, somebody. And she was literally the only person in middle school out of 3 years that ever stuck up for me. Like, the only person. And like, I don't know, because every time somebody else said something, nobody would say anything. And Chelsea, she only stuck up for me one time, but like literally that one time changed my whole life. It didn't change my whole life, but like it was the nicest thing. And I still remember her to this day, and that's why you're gonna shout out in this video, girl. So girl Jay, who the video is about, Jade, she basically would say like, just, I couldn't tell if she was my friend or she wasn't my friend, because she would say some nice things sometimes, or she'd ask to use my pencil, or like ask for the homework or something, and like I would give it to her. So I couldn't tell if she was my friend because she would do stuff like that. But fast forward to high school, when I went to Midwood High School, and I went to high school, and she did not go to the same high school, but boy, White Jay did go to the high school with me, and he continued the same behavior throughout like the high school. It was actually really, really funny. So one day we were in the cafeteria, and I was with my best friend at the time, Shelly, and I was there, and I noticed, like, it was freshman year, and I noticed White Jay is, I noticed that White Jay is in the cafeteria walking towards the exit, and I'm walking in the cafeteria because we wanted to cut through the cafeteria. So I see him and I stop walking, and I just like kind of stayed by the entrance, and Shelly's like, yo, what's wrong? And I was like, oh, nothing, like, can we just wait like for like 5 minutes before we walk? And at the time we were with Fritz. So Fritz was like he was Haitian, and he was like a bad, but like he was just so bad. Like Fritz got suspended, and like he was banned from prom, because I would have took Fritz to prom. But he was banned from prom, and like he couldn't do whatever. Like he was crazy. So Fritz was there, and he said, what's going on? Why can't you walk? Let's go. And I was like, no, because I just don't want to go. And he was like, no, tell me what's going on. So I'm like, okay, well, that guy, he was just like always really mean to me in middle school, and like I don't want to walk past, and he said something to me, so like, can we just wait? And Fritz looked at me like I was dumb. And Fritz, like, in high school people stood up for me a lot, but in middle school was horrible. Which is why I'm always in my kids' business, and I'm just like, who said what about you? Let's go talk to them. They're not doing that. I'm always sticking up for my kids. And then the next day, if the bully have a problem, I'm sticking up for the bully too. Like, I'm like, y'all not talking about each other like that. Y'all not saying mean things. And my kids make fun of me because I'm always like, I apologize. So Fritz came, and he's like, whoa, no. So he like pushed past me, like, girl, bye. And I was like, no. And he just pushed past me. He did a little thug jog, you know, like, up to Jay, and he said, yo, excuse me. And Jay was taller than him, but Fritz was like, do. So he didn't fight him, but he was like, yo, you got a problem with my girl? And I was like, what? And then Jay was like, oh no, I just don't like her. He was like, all right, cool. All that you don't like stuff, you're not gonna say nothing to her, don't look at her, don't whatever. So Jay was like, okay, but I guess he was shook. And like, you know, if he's shook, that's not my business. I didn't ask him to go up and press him. So whatever, he came back to me, first came back, and he was like, yo, Des is cool, this is what happened. He said he not gonna bother you. Let me know if he forget. Like, you know, let me know if he forget that he said he not gonna bother you. I said okay, and I'm over here like giggling because I'm like, yo, somebody finally check this boy, because he would be really rude to me, and I never did anything to him. Like, never did anything to him. And honestly, I had cousins that if I called or said a word, they would have flipped him in 25 seconds. But I wasn't like that. I just didn't want any beef, didn't want any drama. Like, I wasn't a kid for that, like, you know. But he should count his blessings and count his days, you know. But basically I got home that night and I was added to a group chat, and this group chat happened to have all the kids that I went to, like, not, it was like maybe 15 kids in the group chat, and I believe it was Facebook or maybe MySpace, who knows. And it was just a thread where the girl Jade wrote me, like, she wrote and she had all these people CC'd up in the memo from middle school, and she was like, oh, I hear, she's like, oh, Des, I hear that you're in you're in high school now, and you think you're big stuff right now, big SHIT right now. Don't make me have to remind you who you really are. LOL, you're still the lame chick from Huddy. Don't play no games. And I just stared at it, and she was like, and then like I hadn't responded right away, so like they were responding and I could read their chats, and like people like I never had problems with, people that like invited me to the party in middle school, they were laughing along like, oh, what happened, why you say that? And she's like, oh, she had her friend press J, white J, and black J was there too, like in the chat, and like they were just talking, and I'm just like, I just stared at it. I don't even think I replied to it. I think I just left it. I didn't say anything, because right now, if you did it to me right now, I'd have been like, sis, if he was scared, he know who to talk to. Like, but I didn't say anything. I just like left it alone, and I didn't actually go tell Fritz, because I know some of you guys are gonna comment and be like, why didn't you go tell Fritz? Because I'm not that type of person. I just roll my eyes. I felt hurt because some people that I was cool with or like okay with in middle school, they like were under it, kikiing with her. So then why? Tell me why. I think it was maybe I was in college at this point. Now I'm in college, you know, in that English degree. And I'm on the train station. You don't know the hoe when they hand out pamphlets, and I'm there, and why shorty J, female J, same one that tagged me in the post with all the people in middle school saying that I need to remember who I am, and it's handing out God loves you flyers. So you just met God, what, last week? You met him yesterday, because when did you meet this God? Because when you were making my life miserable and trying to bully me even through high school, you didn't seem to know God, but all of a sudden, you over here spreading the good news. Well, you know what good news? You look foolish. So I walked past her, and she really tried to hand me a flyer, like, bitch. I looked at her like, and kept the pushing, like, what you're not about to do is hand me a flyer, sis. Preaching no false beliefs, because I know. Reformed what? If you were really reformed, when you saw my face, you would have sat there and apologized, not hand me a flyer like, I need to be saved, you need to be saved, and you need to make it right with your God, what you did and how much of a you were. Like, well, thank you guys for watching. You know what? What's the craziest thing? What's the craziest karma? Like, I don't know, because I felt like I was just like repraved. I don't even think that's the word I mean to say, but I just felt like rejuvenated in like cosmic justice when I saw her at the train station with her long ankle skirt handing out little Jesus flyers. I was like, I feel like everything I've ever known is worth this moment. So if you ever felt like you got revenge on your Billy, or your Billy got his or her just desserts, comment down below. And if you think I should have did something different, you know, you can comment it. I'll read it. I'll probably laugh and be like, LOL, you know, what would you have done if it was you? But like, I can't change the past, and I can't retell the story a way it didn't happen. And if I said your name in this and you're mad, I'm so sorry. But like, I only say the good people's names. So like, I said Shelly, and I said Fritz, and I said Chelsea, but they're all really great supporting people. Like, if I'm talking mess about you, I change your name. If I'm not and I'm saying you're a great person, get your shout out. But thank you guys for watching. This is your girl Jodessy, and you'll be seeing me a little bit later. Bye guys.